arrested, assassinated, exiled. These terms are not new for Pakistan's former leaders. The South Asian nation has a long history full of anti-former Prime Minister plots. Imran Khan's name is only a new addition to a long list. Pakistan's nasty Game of Thrones started right with its first premier, Liaquat Ali Khan. He was assassinated on October 16 in 1951 during a public meeting at Rawalpindi. Who killed Pakistan's first Prime Minister, a professional assassin, but who hired him, no one knows till date. Imagine a country where a top leader is killed and almost 70 years later, we still don't know who did it. Moving on to the fifth Prime Minister of Pakistan, Hussain Shahid Sohrawardi, who refused to endorse General Ayub Khan's seizure of government. Sohrawardi was banned from politics. He also faced charges for alleged anti-state activities. He was eventually put in jail for 13 months in 1962. Cut to 1977, when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was arrested. Bhutto served as Pakistan Premier between 1973 and July 1977. Soon after his term ended, he was arrested for conspiring to murder a political opponent in 1974. The ninth Prime Minister was later released from jail, but only to be arrested again under Pakistan's martial law. The statute empowered Pakistan's forces to nab anyone who was working against Pakistan's security, law and order, and it could not be challenged before any court. Bhutto was eventually sentenced to death and executed in April 1979. His daughter, Benazir Bhutto, who rose to power in December 1988, too had an ill-fated after-office life. In April 1999, Benazir Bhutto was sentenced to 5 years of jail. She was also disqualified from holding public office after facing charges for accepting kickbacks from an international entity to conceal customs fraud. Bhutto spent several years in exile in London. She later returned to Pakistan in 2007 with plans to participate in the 2008 general election. Bhutto was assassinated by a suicide bomber in Rawalpindi on December 27, 2007. The blast took place in a public rally arranged after her return. Now, you must be thinking that all these things happened decades ago. Well, wait till you hear the rest. Assassinations may have become a thing of past, but arrests and graft charges continue to remain a part and parcel of the job for whoever assumes Pakistan's top chair. In 2018, Nawaz Sharif, brother of current Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, was awarded a 7-year jail term. The conviction was in connection with Sharif family's stakes in steel mills in Saudi Arabia. Nawaz was released on bail in 2019. He went to London, citing need for treatment. He hasn't returned to Pakistan since then. Nawaz was earlier sent into exile by General Pervez Musharraf in 1999. The next Prime Minister, Shahid Khaqan Abbasi, assumed office in July 2017. He served the office till May 2018. Same year in July, Abbasi was arrested by a 12-member National Accountability Bureau team for alleged corruption. He was later granted bail and released from jail in February 2020. And finally, Imran Khan. The PTI chief has managed to revive all the horrors of the past: an assassination attempt, detention over corruption charges. Pakistan is just reliving its history.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony.